Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of my career mode. This will be the start of the F1 part. Obviously we're with McLaren and we'll be starting in round 1 with the Australian Grand Prix. I've got 1,750 resource points to spend, so I need to use those wisely. I normally just let the engineer recommend an upgrade, and he's going to
What do you think of
recommend
this one?
a powertrain upgrade because we are second to last in the with power, so it's a no-brainer really. I'll choose some power to upgrade, and I'll
I
also put
recommend
some
we go
chassis
for
on as I
something
can
like
do
this.
2 at a time. And we also third from last with the chassis, so there's a lot of ground to make up as we go into practice. We'll describe the practice programs for you if you've never played F1 before. So you've got the track climatization program to start with. You should always start with that. If you don't know the track very well, it helps you learn it where you should be. After that, you've got the fuel management program, lifting off and coasting as much as you can while staying to the target lap time. And then after that, well, you can do this in any order you want. But you've also got the qualifying program.
We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat.
Then just lap as fast as you can. And then you've got a tyre wear program, trying to save as much of the tyres as possible while keeping to the target lap time. As you can see, in the top right corner is where your target lap time is. And then you've got the ERS management program. You can change the ERS deployment in the bottom right. You can go from medium to high to low. Just manage it to go through a lap while trying to get inside the target lap time. If you just stick with medium and beat the target lap time, that's pretty simple, to be honest. I'll try not to lose the car like I did there. And after all this, you'll be able to do the race,
you're in the top 10.
the race strategy program, which is this one here. Basically, it's just 3 to 5 laps, trying to stay within the target lap time. It helps the game figure out what race strategy to give you when it comes to the race. So yeah, that'll take all things into consideration. Melbourne isn't really one of my strongest tracks. I like it. I like Melbourne, but it's not really a strongest track of mine. So I don't predict anything brilliant. But yeah, let's go into qualifying.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix.
So qualifying will be a one shot, one lap. Go as fast as you can. Don't mess it up. You have the Ghost car in front of you of pole position, which will probably be Lewis Hamilton. He's already rocket shitting off into the distance, and the top left will show you where I am during the lap. So I'm currently last, which ain't good. It's going a few places, up to 16 there, 15th there, 14th, 12th, 10th. No, oh, this is going better than I expected. As we come into the end of 6 to 2, we are 9th. I can hold quite a lot of speed through there. That's up to 8. And now 7th. Obviously, pole position's out of the question, but 7th would be best of the rest, and that would be a lot better than I was expecting on my first qualifying session. And as we cross the line now,
Nice job.
it's 7th. Brilliant. It's perfect.
3 today. Hamilton, Leclerc, and Valtteri
Just ahead of
Bottas.
Devon Butler.
Well, that wraps up qualifying,
And my
but don't
teammate
worry,
is 15th.
we'll be back tomorrow as we head into
1.4 seconds off me. So you can't really argue with that. That is a good qualifying session. So after every session, you'll get screens like this, which tell you how we're doing against your team out, how many resource points you get. The more practice programs you do and the better you do during qualifying and the race, the more points, the resource points you'll get, which means you can upgrade more of your car, which means you'll get higher up the field. So yeah, the upgrades part of this is quite good. You won't stay at the same part.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year, with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Gasly and McLaren, Butler, Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo, Weber, Perez, Roman Grosjean and Raikkonen, Norris, Hülkenberg, George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi. Albon and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, so as you can see, the game's giving me 2 options for strategy. You can make up your own as you go along, but I'm going to go for the high tyre management one, which means we're going to have 2 stints on the soft tyre and 1 stint on the medium. So it'll be 2 short stints and then 1 longer one at the end. Okay, so here we are on the grid. We've got 4 lights, 5 lights. The 2019 F1 season is go. And we've had a very poor start here, and we're behind Magnussen and Ricciardo, and we're going to try around the outside of Ricciardo, but it's not going to work, so we'll have to set one behind. And we're going to try set it up the inside on Magnussen. That's never going to work. We've had contact now around the outside of Ricciardo, and through we go up into 9th. We try and set it up to the inside of Magnussen again, but it doesn't work, so trying very hard to keep hold of the car at the moment. It's all over the place on cold tyres, but we're still got a slipstream of Magnussen, but Ricciardo's right behind us as well. Got a bit wide through the first and the double corner. About keeping it steady now, and then trying to stay with Magnussen while fending off Ricciardo, but Magnussen's right behind Gasly and Butler, who's had a good start. Lewis Hamilton does the fastest lap of the race on the first lap. Ricciardo is staying right on our tail, he's not letting us breathe at all. But Magnussen's doing well to stay with Gasly and Butler. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton has escaped down the road from the rest of the pack. Another bit of oversteer on the curb there. And again. Gasly's not careful, he's going to come under attack from Magnussen. Meanwhile, Ricciardo's still staying with us. It's a 29 lap race, which is 50%. Gap to Magnussen's over again. Lewis Hamilton does another faster lap on the second lap of the race, beating his lap on the first.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it.
And DRS now enabled, and Ricciardo goes flying up the inside of us, but we managed to keep it around the outside. He's still having a look around the outside of turn 3 though, and he couldn't make it this time. He's managed to hang around the outside. He's going to try up the inside of 4, but we managed to hang around the outside again. All the while, filling off Ricciardo, Magnussen is getting away. We've lost a second in the first sector.
The battery is low on energy. Reduce ERS deployment.
And we've now got a safe battery as well, which isn't going to help us. If it couldn't help us out, is Ricciardo's now going to have to fend from the racing point behind him, and he might have to take his attention away from us. He's going to have to, because he's got either Perez or it'll be Perez around the outside of him. And I think it's through, is he? Might have got through. Whoa. Don't know how I kept that. And no, he hasn't got through. Ricciardo's still ahead of him. But we managed to create a bit of a gap for ourselves now, give us a bit of breathing space.
Is 2.0 seconds.
And Lando Norris is in that gaggle of cars as well, so we need to finish ahead of him. On to lap 4 we go. Magnussen's just managed to get past Butler ahead, and he has. Starting to lap a bit quicker now, and Butler is on our sights. Whole field a bit not very spread out apart from Lewis Hamilton at the front, and there's also a bit of a gap between the two Red Bulls in 5th and 6th, bit of a gap there. The rest of the field is still quite close together. And we can now think about making a move on Butler for 8th. Remember, we started 7th, we've lost 2 places. Poor start. It's got a bit wide there, nearly hit Butler in the rear. So we activate DRS, but I think we're going to be a bit too far back to make an attack this time around.
You'll be on the softs.
Another snap of oversteer. Our first pit stop will be next lap. So we're on the tyres that we qualified on. We only did 1 lap, as it was 1 shot qualifying. But they still don't last long, the soft tyres. Could be about to make a move on Butler for 8th. Good if we could get that done on the lap before our first pit stop. As you see, we made a massive gap back to Ricciardo now. He's too busy having to fend off basically everyone else. Got a nice gap now, so we can just focus on what's ahead of us. So we activate DRS, and this could be a good move on Butler, not quite. Maybe down the pit straight. We'll stay close enough through the last sector. Missed that apex a bit there, but we've activated DRS now. Might just be a little bit too far back. And we are. But again, we activate our DRS after turn 2 all the way down to turn 3, and we're a lot closer this time. And we go through up the inside. Go a bit wide, ow, we go very wide, and Butler takes the place back, and we've lost about 3 or 4 seconds there. That was a poor move, it was just a bit too late on the brakes. So we've now got to make that ground up again, but we will be pitting at the end of this lap, I believe. Make so much time through that quick section chicane. But again, we go a bit wide there. These tyres are starting to go off a bit now. Luckily, we're about to get rid of them. Into the penultimate corner, my least favourite corner on the circuit. Slow the car right down, and we're not pitting this lap. We've decided to go an extra one. Again, DRS, Devon Butler, he's just a bit too far ahead, and we will be hitting at the end of this lap. But again, we're going to have another chance. Oh! We've done very well to catch that. I thought that was the end of it. That could have been race over right there. And Butler was probably breathing a huge sigh of relief, as he's got some time in his pocket now. Caught him up again quite quickly. Magnussen has managed to sprint off into the distance. He's got about 4 or 5 seconds in his pocket on us two now.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance.
But again, we make so much time through the chicane. But I think Butler's going to keep his 8th place for now, until at least after the pit stops. Okay, so as Devon Butler carries on, we peel off into the pit lane, and we have to get stopped in time without going over the speed limit, which we've done. Always got to try and make as much time as possible there though, without getting a penalty. So we enter into the pit lane.
Exit
That's a
now.
2.5 second stop, which is okay. And we are one of the first ones to pit in the race, so we are thrown back into 20th out of 20th. Last place. But we've got some nice space now to be able to put some laps together and maybe undercut Devon Butler, hopefully. That's the plan. So we've got 8 laps down, 21 laps to go. That's our first pit stop out of 2. There will be a second one later in the race. And we have 1 lap, 2 tops, try and set fast lap times to try and overtake Devon in the pit stops. And after losing the F2 title to him, that is something I really want to do. there's a whole gaggle of cars that have just gone into the pit lane, so hopefully one of those is Devon, and we hopefully he sees us go past him on his way out. And there's Butter in the pit lane, and we're through. We're through. Not even just about, I've got a bit wide there, but we have made up probably about 3 or 4 seconds on Devon. So once everyone else is pitted, we should work out that we'll be 8th, and maybe we can make up a bit of time on Magnussen as well.
The car ahead has come in and fitted the soft tyre.
So that's Magnussen, he's already been in, so he's the next car in front of us. You just saw him go through our picture. 3.7 seconds ahead, so we have made a bit of time. So we've now got to try and hunt him down. .9 has got to now, so this won't be easy. So Lando Norris now in the pits, as our engineer says at the same time. Lando Norris is now in the pits. Now in F1, the first protocol is to beat your teammate, which we do at the moment. But you'll be ranked.
In front is 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, well, you'll be ranked mostly on beating your teammate, and then you've got to select a rival later down the line as well, which you've got to try and beat. And the more you beat them, the more respect you get, the more reputation you get, the more resource points you get. As I just saw in that last lap, we'd done the fastest 3rd sector out of anyone, so that's encouraging. But we need to try and catch Magnussen now.
Reduce the ERS deployment, please. We need to charge the battery.
Sometimes I forget about the ERS management. It is easy to forget. You want to run a high all the time, obviously. So you want to try and get as much performance out of the car as possible. But you have to keep an eye on it, and sometimes you have to put it to low, and you're going to lose quite a lot of time doing it. Obviously it will recharge quicker. So a lot of time I just leave it on medium. So we're catching the back of a battle with Albon. Back, I can't quite see who else now. I think there's a Ferrari at the front of it. Possibly. Oh,
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They seem
as
to have an
Albon
issue.
dives into the pits. Sebastian Vettel does the fastest lap of the race. So we've got Gasly ahead. And I think we've got Magnussen in front of him as well. So Gasly's probably attacking Magnussen for 8th.
The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
And after passing Butler, we're now creating quite a gap, which is good. If we'd had a better start, we wouldn't have been in that far, not been in front of Magnussen. Top 6 were never in question, really. This early in the season, anyway. So Raikkonen darts into the pits now as well, which gains us another position. We're now up to 9th, another snap of oversteer through the last corner. And Perez pits, we're up to 8th.
P9. Into P9 now.
Up to 8th now. And Magnussen is best of the rest at the moment, so if we can catch Magnussen, they get 7th. That would be a pretty impressive debut, to be honest. It already is. But that would be the icing on the cake. Although we're not even halfway through the race yet, so a lot of things can happen. Like a billion. I probably would do. Like 12 out of 29. Price I mentioned is holding up Gasly. If you can hold him there for a bit longer, and I can catch the back of that little battle, that could be very helpful indeed. Another snap of understeer for that last corner. Just does not want to stay planted through there. And Gasly's trying to run the outside of Magnussen through turn 1 and 2. Don't think he's managed to make it stick though. Just going to try down the outside again, I think, through turn 3. Magnussen shuts him off again. Good little battle going on there. Albon out of the
Gap
race.
to the car ahead is 2.4 seconds.
2.4 to Gasly, and so we've gone by about a second over these last few laps. Okay, we crossed the line.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
The gap's down to 2.4, so we've gained a few more tenths again. And again, we're approaching our pit window. And this time, Gasly is going down the outside. He might actually make it this time.
17.9 seconds.
And he has. Has he got a flag out? That's never good. And that's that's Albon. Albon out the race. But Gasly did make it on Magnussen, so he is up to stick.
Okay, clear.
Now Magnussen might be ours for the taking if we can. Gasly's probably going to disappear now, you'd think, in the Red Bull, and Magnussen will be left defenceless. That was a good move from Gasly, down the outside into turn 3 and managed to hold onto it through at turn 4. Ricardo's 9.1 behind us, so we're in no man's land basically. We've got no pressure from behind at the moment. And we can look forward to try and nab that 7th place. As we come across the line to start with that 15 out of 29. It's still 2.4, so we're not making up that much time. It's like little bits every lap. And Magnussen is not falling away from Gasly as quick as I thought he would. Well, Gasly's made about a second, but I thought it'd be more. Oh, Jesus Christ, the amount of times I've had to catch oversteer this race. I'm surprised I haven't put it in the wall yet. and the gap is up to 2.9, so we're actually losing time to Magnussen. But Magnussen is now losing time to Gasly, as you can see on the map in the bottom left hand side. Gasly is making a bit more of a gap now. And a snap of oversteer through the last corner as we start lap 16.
We want to pit this lap, so push now.
So we pit this lap. I'm hoping Magnussen doesn't pit on the same lap so we can try the undercut again. As we get another snap of oversteer through turn 2 this time. Down to 2.7. Another 2.2 tenths of Magnussen, but we're going to be pitting this lap, so that is where we're going to have to push on our first lap out, because Magnussen will probably pit the lap after, if not this lap, and that is where we'll have to make up our time if we want to finish the 7th.
Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Definitely made quite a bit of time that last lap. Magnussen goes straight on, so we pull back into the pit lane and we've got to attack that line. Don't get a penalty, but attack the line. Probably didn't make up much time there. Slowed down too early, but it's better than receiving a penalty. It's better be safe than sorry as we head into the pit garage.
Release.
2.4 this time, so 10 quicker than our last pit stop. We need a nice bit of space to pull into. Don't think we're going to get it though. We come out behind Perez and just in front of our teammate. So we've got a few seconds gap to Perez. Hopefully he doesn't hold us up too much and he will pit this lap. But I think Lando Norris is going to try it on his teammate down the inside. We can't be having this right now. And can we hold it around the outside? We do, but that's going to cost us a bit of time in our fight with Magnussen. That wasn't very smart from Lando Norris because that has just cost the team time. Hopefully it won't harm us too much. But it's all down to what times we do in the second and third sector now. Okay, so our second sector wasn't too great by the looks of it. Don't think this is going to work out for us at the moment. We've made a nice gap to Norris. But it doesn't matter, just we have to pit again anyway. So it has Magnussen pitted on this lap. Perez goes straight on, so that's not going to help us out. I think that's Magnussen at the end of the pit lane as we drive down
in the pits.
to the end.
In the pits.
And he's already out in front of us. But he's going to get held up by Perez, I think. That's Grosjean. Magnussen. I don't know where Magnussen is. Don't think he's in pit on this lap. Yeah, I think that's him at the end, possibly. Yeah, it is. So we haven't made any time on Magnussen, unfortunately, and we've now got to get past Grosjean and Perez without losing too much time. Thought about a look up the inside there, but that's a dark place to overtake. But we're nice and close through the right hander, but it's just a bit too far back to send one up the inside into the next right hander as we come up to the end of sector 2. Then we can carry quite a bit of speed through the chicane and we put our DRS on. And Grosjean is defending, but we're going to send one up the inside, and that is 11th place. Just got to get Perez now. Magnussen is still within arms of reach. We come to start lap 19, 11 laps to go. Grosjean pulls into the pits behind us. We switch our DRS on, but Perez is just a bit too far ahead for a look into turn 1. But if we can carry quite a bit of speed through there and turn 2, we could have a look into turn 3. DRS on. And we are close enough. Perez is defending, but we're going to slide right up the inside of turn 3. Perez is going to try and hold it around the outside, which he does, but then drops back underneath for turn 4, and we are up to 8th. And we can now chase down Magnussen again. The gap isn't too big, it's about 3 seconds like it was before our pit stop. We're on the medium tyres again. I believe Magnussen's on the same. Got a bit wide into the penultimate corner there, but we are definitely catching Magnussen. Let's see what the gap is as we cross the line. It's going to be around about 2 seconds, maybe just over 1.7, even less.
These tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Yeah, these tyres do need to last at the end of the race, so we've got 10 laps on them. But they're lasting alright at the moment. So what though, Perez is not giving us any respite. Right on our tail still, even though he's still got a pit, those tyres are holding up well for him. And it's still 1.7 at the end of the first sector. It's up to 1.9 in the second sector, so it's sort of ebbing and flowing at the moment. It's not one constant, either gaining time or losing time. Let's see what it is at the end of the lap. As we come to start lap 21, the gap is down to 1.6, so we've gained a tenth over that whole lap. So I think we were predicting, our team sets a target to finish around about 14, and we're 8th, so that's a success really. And if we don't pass Magnussen, it also means I'll have to put the difficulty level up for the next race. Put it on 95 at the moment, because I found it a bit harder to start with compared to last year's game, but I think I was just getting used to the F2. So I'll be putting it up into the hundreds for Bahrain, and I'll be keeping it there for the rest of the first season at least. But if we can catch Magnussen here, that'll be a bonus coming into the closing stages of the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. Went a bit wide through there. Gap down to 1.5, so we're going another 10. think Perez behind is actually trying a one stop. There's not much point in pitting now, even to put the softs on. You're leaving quite late, so I think Perez tried the one stop. And he's managed to jump at least Daniel Ricciardo, I don't know who else. And I think even his teammate, whoa, that was... How I've not hit the wall during this race, I don't know. How I've not retired, I don't know. How I've not absolutely totaled the car, I don't know. But Magnussen is well and truly in our sights now. And we've got 6 laps to pass him. Although I don't know if we're going to need 6 laps because we are right on him now. The DRS is now open and we're going to try it down the outside into turn 3. Right on the edge of the track, and we managed to hold it around the outside. Can we keep it? Yes, through turn 4, we've done it.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look easy.
And it's up to 7. God, we took a while to catch him, but we managed to catch him quite a bit in 2 laps, and we just sailed past him at the end there. I don't know if he had a problem or anything. Doesn't look like it because he's still on the back of us. He must have just been harvesting some energy. But we're through up to 7, and we are best of the rest on our Grand Prix debut. Now we're going to try and keep it though because Magnussen's not giving up. Okay, I've managed to carry lots of speed through there, and that's giving us a few tenths of a gap. Yeah, at the end of lap 23, we'll begin lap 24. Gasly is 8.4 seconds ahead, and the Red Bull's quicker anyway, so I'm not really worried or thinking about Pierre Gasly ahead. I'm just now thinking about keeping Kevin Magnussen behind us because he's still right on our tail. One mistake and he'll be back past us, so everything's going to be perfect over the next 5 laps. The pit straight we go after another lap onto lap 25, and Magnus is still right behind us. He's not standing quick enough, which is lucky, but if we can get a good exit through here, he's had an average run really. I think we're just a bit too far ahead, fortunately. But this is going to be a battle to the end now between us and Magnussen. Haas always seem to be good at Melbourne, but that's the only race on the calendar they seem to be good, and they just fall away during the season after that. Hopefully it won't be the same on the game as it is in real life, because they're really struggling at the moment. A bit wide there, but just managed to keep it off the grass, which is good, and just managed to keep it out of the wall. Go really defensive at the moment because Magnussen is still not giving up. This is a great fight for the best of the rest. And to weave a bit, which has been naughty, but enough got a bit wide through there as well, which could give him a bit of a run through the last corner onto the pit straight. A bit of an oversteer there as well. And he's coming, and I'm about to go to the inside line to defend, and he's trying it down the outside, Magnussen. He's gone round the outside. Woo. Bit of a touch there and he's through, but we're going to get the slipstream down to turn 3, but he's got the DRS and he's done it. He's back up to 7. And we've only got 4 laps to try and get that place back.
There's 4
But
laps
this
of
is a
fuel
great
remaining.
battle here. And he's defending again. Oh, there's a bit of a late move over to the left hand side to defend. But we've got a lovely slipstream up into the right hander, and we've gone through up the inside. It's a lovely move again, and we're back to 7th. And Magnussen's lost quite a bit of time on the exit there as well, so we've now got a bit of a respite until he comes back at us. But that was a nice little scrap there. Hopefully we can now hold on to it to the end of the race as Magnussen falls back a bit. Gone a bit wide there again on the penultimate corner. That's one of my least favourite corners on the whole calendar. Just a lot of time you just understeer through it. And it's a hard braking zone, so it's easy to lock those brakes as well. Looks like we can now handle the challenge from Magnussen after scrap. Oh, Jesus. Got the grass there, lucky again not to end up in the wall. Yeah, as I was saying, try not to jinx it. I think the challenge from Magnussen might now be over. 2.5 laps to go. It's about a second here, we can probably judge that. And somehow, after leading the first half of the race, Hamilton is now 6th, only 10 seconds ahead of us. So that begs the question, who is actually winning the race at the moment? And what happened to Lewis Hamilton? By the looks of it, both Mercedes are in 4th and 6th by the looks of it. And we've got Gasly in 5th. So I'm guessing a Ferrari's in the lead. I suppose we'll find it out at the end of the race as we start lap 28, only 2 laps to go. And Magnussen is 2.4 seconds behind, so that looks covered to me. As long as I don't make a stupid mistake.
Got 2 laps of fuel left.
So I've managed to fuel up quite well by the looks of it. I've got 0.3 over target now. Just under 0.3 over target. Jesus Christ. I'd like to look back and just count how many times I've had to catch a step of oversteer during this race. Because it's got to be in the 20s, I think. And then I should have another list of race defining oversteer moments, because I've had about 4 or 5 where I've very easily could have been in the barrier. Anyway, we crossed the line to start our last lap of the race.
This is your final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 34.9 seconds.
Yep, so last lap, another oversteer moment there. And it's been quite a successful debut. Actually, a very successful debut, 7th. It can only get worse from here, really. I don't really see myself being able to challenge the top 6
Gap to car in
During
front
this-
is 6.3
during this
seconds.
season. Especially not during the first half anyway, but Lewis has definitely got a problem with his car because I've caught him by about 3 seconds during the last 2 laps. It's going to be too late now, but if we had like another 5 laps or something, I would have had 6th place. Lewis has definitely got a problem. Probably had to see it by the end of his laps anyway. So Charles Leclerc has won the race in the Ferrari. Charles Leclerc wins on his debut for Ferrari. For Ferrari. For Ferrari. So yeah, he'll be leaving Albert Park as the points leader as I round the last corner to finish 7th on my debut, which is a brilliant result.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So Ferrari 1-2 then. Verstappen 3rd. Us in 7th. Butler 13th. It's a good first race. Okay guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time for part 2 in Bahrain.